Hello, everybody from the gathering, and welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Bobby Richardson. I am the one that is creating all of these gatherings and so forth. It's a brand new thing for me, but I have done several things like this before in my past, and I really feel now is the time to gather as many souls together that are like-minded so that we can actually help each other and heal each other and teach each other what we know. Share with each other what we know, and also combine energies so that we can expand, like grow into a bigger energy, and see where this goes. So I do believe that whoever's local and supposed to be there is supposed to be there, and I'm just going with the flow with this. Although I know my energy is kind of like holding back a little bit, making sure that I'm able to handle the energies that are coming and going with the whole thing as well. So especially with this next thing that I've been guided to do, which is a stargazing, UFO watching, but most of all up-leveling of our frequency so that we can meet in the future or in the present moment, whatever happens, some sort of ET benevolence that's coming from another planet, another dimension. I've definitely 100% seen many, and that was because I had a gift handed down by my mum that could see into different frequencies until I was 50, and then they pulled right back with that, and they gave me a sign to say that it was finishing up, although I have seen the odd thing, and then they started channeling through me instead. So that's why I started this YouTube channel a wee while ago, to start teaching myself how to channel, or like move into the channeling business and so forth, because I'd never done it before. So it just threw myself in the deep end, although I had been receiving a lot of messages, and still do. What I want to talk about today, and even for those that are overseas or whatever that usually watch me on YouTube, I just thought to share it with everybody, because I feel like there could be gatherings that are made around overseas, and this could be a really good download of information to help those gatherings. So we're now stepping out of the logical mind, trying to compartmentalize and organize everything. And it's not to say that things don't need to be organized. Obviously, we all need to meet at a certain date. We're not at the frequency now where things just naturally come together, not at the moment. But that is coming to the saying, that is coming. So it's okay to use your logical brain and, you know, get the message out there and say specific time, specific date. This is messages that are coming from them, because usually their gatherings happen naturally. A magnetism is pulled by the energy of the person that already feels in line with source energy, and then the rest come to meet up with that frequency. But to be able to contact with them, they're saying, do not go to one of these UFO watching things with your heart all excited about, I'm going to see something, I'm going to see something, and I'm going to keep looking, and all that sort of stuff. They would rather us be in a energy that is trusting and enjoying ourselves and allowing the process to come to us through our energy meeting theirs, our frequency meeting theirs. And this is through an alignment of that frequency. So how do we get aligned from a human's perspective, especially when we've been using our logical minds all the time? How do we get in line with them, right? That they were telling me, and I wrote a couple of things down, to go inwards, and then start to imagine, use your imagination. If they were landing, if you did see them in the sky, what would that feel like? If they did come in front of you and they were benevolent, you know, and they're here to help guide, and that, what would that feel like? What would they feel like? What would they actually feel like? And then when you go to shake their hand, imagine it, you know, if from that perspective of high energy, love, peace, joy, that sort of thing, and then shake their hand and then feel into, imagine if you shook their hand, and when you took their hand, all of a sudden you felt what they felt, that absolute peace within oneself, that absolute, oh my gosh, higher frequency feeling of feeling euphoric within yourself as well. It's the only word that they could use at the moment, but it's a specific space that's aligning them with you. And then when you get into that through either meditation, going within oneself, following a guided meditation if you need be, going into your own meditation with music. I know from myself, I'm just going to play some music. It's going to be meditational music, so very serene stuff. And then we are going to go into this, whatever we feel within ourselves, of imagining them. And they also said to me to go by a body of water. So the water that I've chosen is a lake. It doesn't matter what kind of body of water it is. It's all connected to earth. So don't get too hung up on it has to be specific and a special thing and all this sort of stuff. So long as it's water and it's connected to earth. And then they said, sorry, I'm getting a new message coming through. Waterfall could be better, but if not by a waterfall, a lake is fine. It's not a running stream for some reason. Anyway, they were telling me about how a tuning fork, and the tuning fork, say it was in the note of E, and then you held another tuning fork and it was in the note of D. When you dinged the tuning fork for E, it would, vibrate in your hand. This one in D will not vibrate, right? So this is what they're telling me. If you start to hold on to the right frequency of them and then have a tuning fork, say of E, and you're holding the right frequency, so you're holding an E now, when that dings for that E sound, it will resonate with you. So you're already in line with them. This is where the contact happens, but we're also going to be using the body of water. They're saying resonance of vibrational frequency that expands us so that we're not just the water that's within our own body, but also using the body of water that is connected to Mother Gaia herself, to Earth. And when that starts to resonate at that high frequency too, we're up leveling our frequency, reminding Gaia of that frequency that she knows of from the past Atlantis Lemuria age, and it starts to connect back to the Pleiadians. So because they were around in that era, so we're now getting a new frequency that's using the body of water with your body of water, and then aligning that with source energy and the communication coming through. So what might happen? Okay, we might start seeing flashes in the sky to begin with, because we're starting to open up our logical brain. Yes, something can ease. Yes, we can see them. Yes, we're raising our frequency into their vibration, but we still have to have our logical mind saying yes to this. If it doesn't, if it's still saying in doubt, staying in doubt, and it's still saying, no, this is never going to happen, then I'm sorry, it's not going to happen. Unless you have someone that's really holding the frequency to be able to show you, like, look at that, then that can happen. But they want to connect with everyone that is coming to this gathering. So afterwards, even if we don't see anything as such on the first meetup, please be open to the same frequency throughout the weeks, and the channeling might start coming through. So you might start getting wisdom pouring through you, because the first contact that they will make isn't like howdy doody, here we are, we've got a spaceship landed, it might be, it just all depends on the frequency of the group and how well established that group is. I'm not saying no to anything here, but majority of us who are still getting our logical mind used to it will will first have their first contact as telepathy or channeling, and that is getting you used to their frequency, their messages, everything. And then you're starting to, when you start to get used to something, it becomes part of that logical thinking as well. And then from there on, there's more likely that it's a more likelihood that that'll actually meet with you. So if anyone else is doing any gatherings or anything like that out on the world, these are the messages that I'm getting from the Pleiadians. So yeah, definitely a frequency match here. If you go to one of these things and you're just like, God, I'm going to put all, I'm going to just rely on the person that's leading this and not within yourself, then you might miss the boat. You might miss the things that you see, that others see, or, because you're still leaning on the outside world. They want us to come into our inner world now. They want us to, our inner world, to start to understand that there is more power within you, to be able to connect with them. Because when we come from the inner world out and we're not relying on somebody else, then you can go take that information and form another group, or bleed in into with other people. What we want to do is have this expansion around the world of connection with these beings, these beautiful beings, Pleiadians and so forth. See if there's anything else that's coming through from them. Yeah, the most important thing is to stay in a joyful experience, having a little bit of fun, but not forced. Like, a little bit of excitement. Don't get too overwhelmed or too excited or too hung up on we have to see something. Just if you up your frequency, isn't that enough? Because you're now starting to shift into their vibration. It's not only shifting you two, it's shifting everyone around you. And also, if you get this absolute overwhelming, beautiful feeling of love, then use that excess love to send out to the world and see everyone starting to become high vibe in that love frequency, because that's really what's going to connect the rest of the world as well. Together we will shift. There's going to be more and more pockets of these gatherings happening, just naturally through the star seeds that are around, that are coming forth, or those that know that they've come straight from certain planets, certain frequencies. And I know I've definitely come from the higher frequencies of Pleiades. And how do I know that? So that's another big story. But not only could I see things that ended up visiting me and giving me information, I also met an elder, a Cherokee elder for real. She talked to me telepathically by holding my hand. She also pricked my finger and went into a meditation to find out where my soul's come from. And she said, out of everyone, it took her twice to try to find me, because I was kind of in this hiding field for a while, because my energy was very high vibe, and it comes straight from Pleiades. And my name was called Alana wa Nanahi in Cherokee. I hold the codes. I carry the codes and hold the codes to lead people, guide people through into the new frequencies. And that was the Alana Wa, which is turtle. And Nanahi was the fairy folk, or the in-between folk that were working with the Pleiadian energies to help them connect with Gaia. And then also in the future, they started to help also humanity connect to plants, plant life, and Gaia herself. And so there was this whole big connection that was happening on kind of like a bridge between two worlds. I always have been. I've never been someone that just saw the world like everyone else did. To see if anything else comes through. They just want us to have fun. They want us to have fun with this, play with it, have fun, meet each other, get to know each other. The more that our group starts to form a stronger and stronger bond between each other, the more that we are going to start to resonate, and it's going to build from there. So we'll be getting used to each other, you know, trust is formed and all that sort of thing. And this is literally what's happening as we get to know each other, between them and us as well, between the higher benevolence, the Pleiadian energies, and us as well. We're learning to trust one another as well. There's that knowing that each other is going to meet at a certain frequency, and that there's no backlash of fear. So fear will always be prickly, and it will always start attacking eventually. So there's a transition that will naturally happen between each group, and each group will have a different transition that happens. Don't try to force anything into a box of that group did that, so that means it has to happen in our group as well, because every group has a different dynamics, and some of the groups are going to be more towards Acrturians, Sirius, all the other planets, you know, that are around, and even Venus. And those higher frequencies that live on Venus, and those higher frequencies and so forth. So depending on the star seed that's with you, I am Pleiadian energy, and so that's where I'm going to be connecting to. But even within the group dynamics, if you feel like you're more Acrturian or whatever, then do that. You know, call in become the guide for you to call in those beings as well. You never know, you might get like a mixture. It'll all be in the same frequency, and that's the most important thing. And apart from the different planetary involvements that come in, or ETs that come in, it's more of a frequency lift into that. So don't panic too much if you're into Sirius and you're like, well, why should I come to a Pleiadian thing? Well, you might learn then how to connect to your Sirian relatives faster. And it's not to say that, remember, as we go further and further and further back into our soul lineage, we all end up becoming one and have lived each other's lives. So this is just something that I'm closest to, because it was my last lives and so forth for you guys and how you feel, right? And if you're coming to one of these and you feel like you been more human than anything else over in life after life, being a witch in certain aspects, or a wizard or whatever, you know, someone that held that information, kudos to you too. Take my hat off, because you've been through a lot. Then you bring a certain energy alignment with Gaia herself as well, and that is beautiful. So sometimes we come together in these clans and groups with different pieces of the puzzle. So just allow the different personalities to shine and meet each other and have fun with it. So I hope to see you on the 10th of February. Might get somebody to video some of this. I'm certainly going to be doing a full-on meditation, and whatever happens with everyone else, I'm just going to allow it to happen. But I'll be playing music just on my little stereo thing so that everybody can hear it. And then you do what you need to do. If you just want to watch, if you just want to be involved, if you want to close your eyes and come into the meditation, you will want to hum. If you want to softly drum, that's fine, but nothing too loud, because it is in suburbia. So it's not like I got the most secluded place in a suburbia environment, which isn't a bad thing, because it actually bleeds out to all the families and stuff like that, especially the children that are born that are from those higher frequencies as well will be ignited by this. So yeah, it's really exciting what we can actually do with this, but please don't get too structured and too crazy about everything. Just let it flow, let it go, let it happen. Enjoy each other's company. Obviously, there's going to be some time where we need to just be quiet and just really tune in with it all. But, you know, other than that, meet each other, speak to each other, have fun with it all. You know, this is a lighthearted thing. Don't try to force it into any sort of logical box these days. I really feel that majorly, because this isn't about being logical anymore. This is about trusting the energy flow. So love you guys heaps. Hope to see you on Saturday the 10th February at 6 p.m. and then we will walk around the lake to the other side. and settle down with our blankets and, you know, bring some water, whatever you need, whatever feels crystal if you need it or something like that. If you want to wear one of the, I don't care, you know, just go what makes you feel comfortable and warm and secure. Take your phones for either recording or a light, because we do need, you know, torches and lights and that as we walk around in the dark. If we do go right around the back, don't forget there's a pothole there. I did do a short video on walking around the lake. I'm going to do a mock run the night before or 2 nights before, because I want to really feel into the energies present myself and just feel what goes on there and how it's actually going to work. This is my first one. So love you guys heaps. Until then, bye.